I just did my I just did cluster lashes, which I think I like them. I think they're cute. Let me show y'all what I used, because I actually bought the ones off like Amazon and TikTok Shop and everything, but I kind of feel like that the material of them, some of them be actually nice. Alexa, turn volume to level 3. I feel like the material of the actual lash wasn't really as fluffy as I wanted, or if it was fluffy, just the actual like material of the lash wasn't like soft. You can tell it was kind of like a little plasticky, whatever you want to call it. So I actually went to the beauty supply and I got this brand, and I wanted something natural. They'll go with like every day, even when I don't have makeup on. And this is PM40. Ooh. Whoa, now I'm about to take yourself out. Gosh. So let me give you an update of what's going on with me. So my son's birthday passed. That was in July. My friend's birthday had just passed. Well, actually her birthday was yesterday, but we celebrated on Saturday. And we ended up going to 7 in Houston. Overall, it was good, but 7, I don't know what they had going on. Like, the service was so slow. Like, it was a lot going on that day. And I've been to 7 before, and I feel like I didn't have a bad experience, but I always sit at the bar, so maybe that's what it is. It took, y'all, I ordered a Caesar salad. I swear to you, the salad came out like, it took 2 hours for me to get the salad. And it also took, I ordered cranberry juice, and I just told them to put it in a wine glass, and that took like an hour. Like, everybody drinks came late, everybody food came late. It was a lot, but maybe they was just having a bad night. Sometimes that happen. What else? My church is doing a corporate fast. I'm excited about that. We're on that now. Today is the first day of just eating like raw fruits and vegetables, and I just think I had a mango, and I really want some food, I'm not gonna lie, but it's like, it's okay. I've been doing surprisingly really good on it. I got a new car. I think I told y'all. I feel like, I don't know if I recorded, like, I think I recorded it, but just haven't, I don't know. I don't think I went into detail with it if I did say that I had a new car or not. But your girl got a new car. I've been praying on it for so long, because of course y'all don't know. I'm saying, like, if you didn't know, like, I talked about this before, but was it in June? In June, I got into an accident on I-10. Somebody racing, and they caused a whole car pileup or whatever. So my little girl, she went on to glory. She went on to God. But it was good, because that car, I had paid cash for her, and honestly, she got me like so far. Having her and having not had a car note allowed me to build up my finances in such a positive way, y'all. And before her, I actually was involved in a car accident with a drunk driver. I don't know what my thing is like with these accidents. It's not my fault. Let's remind that, not my fault. Was involved with a drunk driver. That car I actually really liked, and it was almost about to get paid off. I think I had like 4 more months left on it for it to be paid off. So I was so hurt, and I think during the time I honestly wasn't even thinking about like, oh, her insurance is gonna cover it, so your car's still gonna be paid off. But I think I was just like, oh my gosh, at the fact that like, okay, your car's about to get paid off, but you're gonna have to get a whole new car. Who wants to do that? Like, when you pay off a car, especially if you're not in like the best financial situation to like jump into maybe a car that you want and that you choose to pay a car note on, I was like, dang, like I was just so hurt by it, because okay, I was like, well, when this car get paid off, it's still a newer car. I can like drive this car for maybe like 2 years, no car note, and then I can go hop in like my dream car. But that didn't happen. So God had other plans for me, and I was really okay with that. So what I ended up doing, once they paid off like the remaining of my car loan, I ended up getting you know, like my money back, the money that they gave me or whatever. And I ended up going to buy a cash car, and I bought this 2012 Nissan Altima, and I think it was nothing but God, y'all. I swear. I remember I picked up my papa, because I was looking on Facebook Marketplace. I picked up my grandpa, and I was like, hey, I found this car on Facebook Marketplace. I think it was like a Nissan, probably like a Nissan Maximum or something like that. Picked it up, and I was like, I want you to come with me to come like look at it. So we were on our way. Remind you, I set up an appointment and everything. We were on our way to go drive to look at this Nissan. And I remember when we was driving, at the time I stayed in A-Leaf in Houston, we were driving down either Bissonnette, or I think it was Bissonnette. We were driving down Bissonnette. I don't know if it was Willcrest. I can't remember the cross street, but it was a gas station, and connected to a gas station, it was a like a body shop. So as we're driving, we stopped at the red light, and I don't know where I just seen this Nissan, and I swear, y'all, it was glistening, like not like a. Maybe at the time I thought it was a normal glisten, right? But I think God did that in order for me to like notice it, because I remember it was glistening so much to where me and my papa was both staring at it, and he turned and I was like, you see that car over there? He was like, yeah, I was gonna tell you, do you see that car over there? Like, it was just glistening, like it was, I don't know, it just had like a light about it that I cannot explain. So I was like, we should go look at it, huh? He was like, yeah, let's go. So we pulled over. It had the for sale sign on it or whatever. So I went inside and I was like, is this like, who's selling this car? So the owner came out. It was the owner of the body shop. He was like, it was his daughter's car. He bought that car. It was only one owner. He bought that car when she turned 16. She graduated high school and she's going off to college. So he said that her sophomore year at college, he planned on buying her the newer version. So he wanted to sell it. Okay, I had a price range of, I only wanted to spend $5,000 on a car. Okay, I didn't want to go over because I knew I wasn't going to keep this car for that long. So I was like, how much is the car? He was like, it's $5,500. And I was like, oh, my budget is honestly like $5,000. So he was like, we can do $5,000, like that's okay or whatever. So I was like, do you mind if I go drive it to my mechanic, get it tested out? He's like, yeah. Me, my papa, and it was clean, y'all. Like, this car was so clean for it to be a 2012. Honestly, this was probably like 2018 when this happened, so it wasn't like that, like it wasn't like it was super old, but to me it was older because I think my car at the time that got wrecked was like a 2015 or 16 or whatever, and it was probably like 2018 or 19. I think it was right before COVID happened, so whatever time that was. So we ended up taking it to the mechanic. Mr. Lee was like, oh yeah, it's good, like it's no issues whatsoever, like it's in really good condition. So we went back, bought the car or whatever, and I was happy. Like, it just had like a little glisten to it. I loved it. I feel like she was so cute. Like, and then honestly, I think I'm just happy, like, you ain't got no car, no girl, whoop, whoop, your money can go other places, baby. You can travel, you can shop, you can do whatever you want, you can invest in your business or whatever. That car lasted me so long. I think when she got in the wreck, she had like 180,000 miles on her. I've never had no issues with her, but also I'm a person, when I get a car, like when something goes wrong, like I fix it immediately. I'm really big on like tune-ups. I'm really big on oil changes and everything like that, because your girl don't want no issues, okay, whatsoever. But I think God like made that car glisten for me to go that way, to get that car, so that I was able to steward my money correctly, because at the time, honestly, I did not give him full control over my finances or anything like that. I thought I was still like, everything that I'm doing is like me, right? Y'all, having that car, just like, now that I'm thinking of it, it's just such a 360. Like, and when I was reading my Bible last night, right now I'm in Exodus, I think like 24 or something, and somewhere right there, I can't remember exactly which one. I'll look in a little bit, but right now he's telling Moses and Aaron and them like how he want his temple to be built. And I remember when I was reading, I was saying it like, dang God, like you are so precise, you are so strategic, and you are so precise. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, you are so strategic and you are so precise. And if we just like let go of our will, even just a little bit sometimes, even if it's just a little bit, because I think he knows us. I think he knows us very well to know that if we've been doing life by ourselves, it's going to be a slight adjustment. Some people it's easy. Some people, they just give it all to them really quick. And then some people it's a slight adjustment. But I think if we just give him that at the beginning, I prefer to just give it all to him. But if you're a person who it's kind of hard for you, your faith probably isn't that strong, if you just give him, like, just like what they said, your faith just the size of a mustard seed, and you see what he does for your life, he knows that it's going to open the door for you to just be like, God, like, have it all. Just have it all. So I'm just like, so like, God is so good. My father is so amazing. My father loved me so much. I'm growing into be such a daddy's girl, and I love that so much. I love that he constantly showed me how he's here for me, how he will provide for me, how even when things are what I want, know that it's gonna be for the greater of my good and his good, as long as I just follow his will. I love that, because now your girl is I was supposed to say BMW. Now your girl is a Benz owner, okay? I got my first Benz, and I was praying over. I didn't have a car for maybe like almost a month because I kept saying like, oh, I think I'm gonna build on my credit. I also wanted to wait until like the end of the year because I know some of the deals are kind of better or whatever, and I kept praying on it. And every time I was like, because I was trying to figure out what kind of car I want, because on my prayer board it said God bless me with a G63 or a GLE 53 coupe, but we're not there yet. Okay, we're not there. That prayer is still on there, and it's gonna stay on there until God seems fit, because my financial was not ready for that. And one thing I'm not about to do is wear my money fully, and all my money is going to an object that can be taken away just like that. Okay, so I started praying to God, like, God, you know, I really do, like, I really would love to have a Benz, but I told him, you give me whatever car you feel is right for me. Like, whatever car you know is right for me, because you did it the first time. I was on my way to a whole nother car, and you just put this light on this one car that lasted me so long, did not give me no issues. Like, I didn't have to come out of pocket with too much stuff at all for that car. That car did me so great. So I know that you'll do the same for this one. Let me go ahead and wrap it up, okay? So I remember I ended up finding this one, right? And then I was looking at E-classes too. I was like, I don't really want a C-class. Like, if I do a C-class, I don't want a C300. I kind of feel like they're like basic, da-da-da, whatever. So I was like, I want an E-class, like an E300 or E350. So I was looking at those. One time I went, I found one, right? Within my price range. I ended up finding one, and I ended up making an appointment, and it wasn't at like Mercedes-Benz dealership. It was like at like Sterling McCart or whatever like that. And I never really wanted that. I always said when I buy my first Benz, like, I always want my experience to be from Benz. Like, I'm driving it from their dealership. I always want that experience. So I ended up making an appointment, and then they, you know, like, once you do like an inquiry or whatever like that, they be hassling you, calling you all the time, different sales members and everything from the exact location. So I think I had my appointment for like a Tuesday, and on like a Saturday they called me one time. Another person though from the same location was like, hey, do you think you can like come in or whatever today? And I was like, oh no, I already have an appointment set for next week. Alexa, turn volume to level 2, because just in case, I don't know if like when I actually make this video, if the music will be too loud. But I was like, I already have an appointment made for Tuesday, but I'm working right now. So then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, you finished work kind of early, like, go up there and just go, what's the name, I had the money that I made that day. I was like, I'm gonna use it as a down payment if it's meant for me to get that car. So I was like, man, I don't really know. I didn't feel like graceful about it while I was driving there. It didn't feel like anything, but it didn't feel graceful. And I feel like the more and more that I'm gaining my relationship and the intimacy with God, I feel his presence. I feel his yeses and I feel his nos, right? So I was like thinking about it, and I was like, God, if this is not meant for me to do today, if it's not meant for me to get this car, whatever the case may be, interrupt it. Interrupt the process. So I get there. Of course, you know, the man is like, once I get to the door, he's like, hey, I'm whatever. And I'm like, hey, he's like, how much down payment do you want? And once people be doing that, I be like, calm down. You don't even know what my credit score is. You don't know anything about me. Let's talk about the specs. Let me look at the car first, okay? Like, let's calm down. So I was like, oh, I'm not worried about a down payment. Honestly, I don't want to put down less as possible, but let's not talk about that. Let's actually view the car and like take baby steps or whatever. So he's like, okay, cool. So he's like, well, the car isn't here. Y'all hear that? The car isn't here. How the car's not here? And you knew that I was coming here. You called me. I was supposed to be coming Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm supposed to be coming in 2 days. You called me for me to come today. So he's like, okay, the car's not here. It's at our other location. But what I figure we can do is we can drive you over there, and then you can drive back, and then that's pretty much your test drive. So I was like, okay, cool. So as we're walking out, he's like, you know what, let me call them really quick, because they said that it was going to get maintenance. Let me call just to make sure that the car is done. I said, okay, cool. Baby, he called, and they was like, oh yeah, the car not done. She got to come next week. Don't even worry about it, okay? I'm just looking at that as that's my God's no, and I'm gonna go with it. So don't worry about it. So we did that. And I was like, at that time, I still had my car. I didn't get at the wreck yet. So I really wasn't pressed. And I told him that. I was like, I'm not pressed to get a new car. My car works perfectly fine. He's like, do you want to trade this car in? I was like, no, I'm going to keep it. And I honestly was thinking about giving it to my little sister at the time. So I was like, I'm not pressed for a car. I wanted him to know that. I'm not pressed for a car. I just feel like that it's due time for me to get a new car as like a gift to myself. So fast forward, accident happened, right? We're back in present time. Accident happened. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit, but I'm constantly still looking at cars just to see what I want, because the only thing I ever thought about was like the car that I really, really wanted was either the G63 or the GLE 53 coupe. Let me close this door because Cash is loud. Okay, so oh, this lighting is kind of good right here, huh? Okay, so okay, so that ended up happening or whatever. And as I'm looking, I'm talking to my friend Abdul. He's constantly like telling me, you know, like, I think you should look at this car, I think you should look at that car, da da da, etc. Sorry y'all, it got dark because I think I gotta sit down. So I end up coming across a car that also I didn't know what really specs that I wanted, besides like, oh, I want ambient lighting and I don't want that itty bitty screen, because I was thinking of like the GLC 300 coupe. But honestly, y'all, the car prices right now, I know that it's kind of like going down slowly, but I just think they're out of their minds with these car prices that they have going on. And I wasn't, even though I did not have a car, God aligned it so great to where one of my close friends is actually my next door neighbor, and she is a homebody and she don't go nowhere. So I was able to use her car for like any necessity things that I needed to do, going to work. So it was summertime, so my son didn't have to go to school. Perfect. I really just used it for going to work, going to the gym, and we already rode to church together. So it wasn't like no major what's the name. But so that was that or whatever. And then I ended up finding this one car. I found it at Mercedes-Benz Clear Lake, right? I ended up finding it and I was like, dang, this car is really, really nice. I like it. So I tried to contact them and it was like, oh, it's not here. It's at Advantage BMW. So I was like, okay, cool. That's in the city. That's better. It'll be easier for me to find a ride, staying like within the city instead of having somebody take me all the way out to Clear Lake. So I tried to contact them so many times, y'all, and it was just not working. Like anytime I finally spoke to somebody and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna call back for like a test drive and everything. Every time I called back, I could not get in contact with this man. So it got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I'll just speak to any sales rep. I don't care, whoever I can speak to, that I can come in and y'all can give me a test drive. We could talk about the car. Did not happen. So I kind of was like, you know what? You need to not have FOMO. Not have fear of missing out, because the price was great, right? The price was really, really good. It was only one owner. The car was leased previously, which I personally like cars that are leased, because if Mercedes-Benz offered, like, gave it back, then normally it was in really good condition. And I also like certified pre-owned. That one wasn't a certified pre-owned though. So I was like, okay. And this is after, when I found that car, it's after Hurricane Burrow or whatever, like right after, or maybe I found it before and then I just kind of started keeping up with it after Hurricane Burrow. So I ended up finding a car or whatever, and I had issues, like it just was not working out. So I was like, and then also anytime I tried to get somebody to take me, like the timing just wasn't adding up. So I prayed about it and I was like, you know what, if it's just not meant for me to get it, I know that's what I said, maybe it's just not meant for me to get it. It's not, the process isn't going smoothly, so this probably just is not God's will. So you need to just be okay with it. And I always ask God that, like I always ask him to give me the comfort of contentment, even when I know that it's something that I want, but it's something that you don't want for me. So let it be. Maybe like a week or something like that passed by. I ended up going to church. The day before that, Saturday, I had a client and I was talking to her. Shout out to you, Stephanie, girl. I was talking to her and I was telling her, I was like, I don't know, like I just be going back and forth on it. And now I realize why I was going back and forth. I was going back and forth because I'm so scared of going outside of God's will. Like with any little decision, that's how much control I want him to have over every aspect of my life. I surrender my life to him completely, to where I call myself like a toddler in Christ. I'm not a babe. I most definitely am not a babe. I know the truth. I feel like I have a good foundation, but I'm not fully there yet, right? I can easily fall. I can easily be fleshly. I can easily do my will over his will and tell myself just because it sounds good that it could be his, like, right? I'm very honest about that, and me being honest about it allows me to continue to grow within my faith and my relationship with allowing him to completely just do whatever it is that he wants to do within my life. So I came to that decision, and then I ended up talking to one of my clients, and I was telling her, and I was like, I keep going back and forth, girl. Like, it's this other one that I found, a Mercedes-Benz Sugarland, but I'm just like, I don't know. And she's like, why you don't know? And I was like, I just don't know. Like, I'm just scared to like do it. I'm just scared. It's not the financial or nothing like that. It's just, I'm just scared of like doing it, and I don't know. I haven't fully heard like if he said that I should go for this, right? That's what I'm telling myself. But now that I think about it, I think he gave me multiple signs. I think it was just operating out of fear, which is horrible. You do not do that when you're a child of God. You don't operate out of fear, because he did not give us a spirit of fear. So she was like, I think you should just do it. Like, I don't think that you should be scared about it. I think if you prayed over it, I think if it feels right for you, I think you should just go for it. So I was like, whatever, right? So I end up going home, and then the next day was Sunday, and she texted me and she just said, do it, right? I didn't respond back because I was like, girl, I'm not trying to worry about that right now, okay? I'm not trying to worry about that. So then I go to church, and we had a guest pastor, and he was speaking about operating in like the spirit of fear. Like, you're constantly telling God, like, give me a sign, when God probably gave you multiple signs, but because you're operating out of the spirit of fear, you can't even see like clear. You're not even like it's just blockers on. Like, it's just blockers. You can't even see the signs and the guesses that God is telling you. So I was like, I thought about it and it clicked to me, but at the same time, the spirit of fear, I was like, I don't know. So the next day was Monday. Is my niece crying? Hold on one second, my niece crying. Okay, we're back. I be having to check the kids, okay? Anyways, so where was I? So Sunday passed, I pray about it again and pray over other things. And when Monday came, I just woke up with like just the desire to like go. Because I've been giving Mercedes-Benz Sugarland the runaround. I just woke up and was like, go test drive that car. Like, that's just what I kept feeling on me. Go test drive that car. And my friend car that I be driving, right, her tags are bad. And y'all, they out from like 2022. So I always be scared of like driving her car. So I told myself, I was like, I'm not telling nobody that I'm going. I'm going to just like go. I'm going to just listen. I'm going to just go. So as I'm driving there, I remember I ended up passing up like a police officer that was like just sitting on the side of the road. But I was like, that's your side. You got to go back. You got to go back. Like, that's your side or whatever. But since I was, if you live in Houston, I live in Katy. I was on I-10 going towards 610. So I probably like just passed up like Memorial City area, like Bunker Hill or whatever. And I was, that's really, really close to 610. And I was taking 610 to 59 or whatever to get to Sugarland. So I was like, you know what, girl, like you're almost there. Like, you're almost at 610. Like, just keep going. So I kept going. I was praying about it. And then as I got on 59 and I saw that I was getting close, I started getting a little like queasy in my stomach. I didn't know what it was, but I felt myself getting like a little bit queasy, but I had like prayed it off or whatever. And once I prayed it off, it went away. So when I ended up pulling up, the other thing, I think I was nervous because I knew that I wanted to negotiate the out the door price. I knew that whatever price they was giving me initially, I was not agreeing with it. And I have never negotiated on stuff, y'all. That's not my forte. I'm very much a girl, like, if you want it, get it type girl, right? But I never negotiated nothing. So I think I was just scared about that because I was going by myself. I didn't know. I did pray over the salesman who I was going to be working with. I already spoke to him on the phone, but I prayed over him too. And I told God, like, God, I pray that you have your hand over his mind, body, spirit, his heart, and allow this to just be like an easy process. So I think that's why I was kind of nervous. So I end up coming in or whatever. And I told before I got out the car, I remember I said, God, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. When it comes to this negotiation process, Holy Spirit, speak through me. Speak through me. That's what I kept saying. Because I was like, I don't know how I'm about to do this, girl. You ain't never negotiated nothing in your life. And I guess I just didn't want to like see the car and be like, oh my gosh, it's so nice. And I didn't want to show them that, right? I wanted to show like I'm interested, but the numbers need to be right. And sometimes I don't feel like all people, but I think some people in that industry, especially when they see like a younger woman, they kind of feel like, oh, this could be a breeze, this could be easy. So we end up going in, we did the test drive and everything like that. I told him, tell me stuff about the car. We went over some things, but I told him, I was like, oh yeah, no, I looked at the Carfax. And he was like, oh, like, it kind of like shocked him. He was like, oh, okay, yeah. So when we went back, before they had another car that was more within my price range. So I told him, I was like, well, I actually want to see that car. But he was like, that one just got here, but it won't be available until like a week. And I was like, so he was like, what color did you want? And I was like, white. And he was like, well, why you want to go for the one that you actually was interested in? And I was like, I don't really want that price. And he was like, don't worry about the price, we can work on the price. I said, okay, cool. We went for the test drive. We come back, sit down at the table. This man bring me that paper with that number on it and talking about $2,500 deposit. Down payment. I said, no, I didn't want this. I thought you said we was gonna talk about the price. I don't want this. And he talking about, so like, what did you want? And I was like, not this. I want $30K. I want 30K out the door, tax titles, everything. And he was like, 30K? And I was like, yeah. He was like, because the car was 35. So he was like, we could see. So he went back and they was like, they said 34. And I was like, I don't want 34. Let's do 32 or whatever. So he came back. No, I kept saying 30. Kept going back for it. So we got down to 3150, right? And I was like, let's do 30. I was like, 30. So he was like, I can't keep going back. Like, I think, and I don't know who they be talking to back there. I don't know if they be just doing that for themselves or whatever, but it's none of my business. And he was like, they're not going to say. And I was like, just go. I was like, you never know. One thing my client Stephanie said that stuck with me, she was like, when she went and got her car, she was like, I told them, let's just throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. So that's what I told him. I was like, let's just throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. Let's just see. You never know. So he was like, okay, yeah. So he went back and he was like, nah, they said like 3150. So I just sat back and I was like, and he was like, come on, like we negotiated down from 35 to 3150. Like, I think that's good. It's a certified pre-owned, one owner, like like start going in or whatever. So then I was like, well, this is other car that I seen at Advantage BMW. It's a little bit cheaper and the mileage is a little tiny, like only like $4,000 more, right? That was gonna be my negotiated tactic to really get it down to 30. So I'm like, let's pull it up, like let's look at it. Child, we pulled it up, the car gold. It's so he took that at his advantage and he was like, I mean, the car goes, so it's not that far off in price though. And this is a certified pre-owned. You get the extra warranty, you know, So he was like, and I kind of just was quiet and I was just like looking. And he was like, what's your favorite color? So I was like, my favorite color, why? And he was like, just what's your favorite color? And I was like, pinkish, like purple, creamy. And he was like, look, I'll give you a whole goodie bag if we just like settle now. I can't keep going back and forth. So I kind of sat there and then we got quiet and I said, okay, like so jolly. And I was like, let's do it. So he was like, oh, thank you. Yes, so that's the story of how I got my car for the price that I was comfortable in. I was so proud. I even went to the bathroom, y'all, afterwards. Like, we ended up doing an application and everything. And I was like, I gotta go to the restroom. I ended up going to the restroom, used the restroom, washed my hands. I was about to walk out the door, and I came back to like the mirror, and y'all, I was in the mirror like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Like, it was such a surreal moment because one, I'm able to get in a car that I want, the brand that I want. Also, I'm able to afford it with no issues. My car payment is amazing. Two, I succeeded with negotiating down the price. Even though I didn't get the price that I really desired was $30,000, I'm just proud of myself that I didn't negotiate. Like, I stood firm on like, no, I don't want that. I don't want this. Like, I feel like I unlocked another level, and it's all thanks to God. Like, I swear to you, God is so amazing. It has been times throughout these past 2 years when my finances was looking crazy. I don't know what was going on, and my Father just pushed me through. So we're going to close this out, y'all, with just saying that if you do not have your relationship right with God, please do it. Please pray to him. You don't have to start off so extra. Just pray to him and just tell him that you're thankful, that you're grateful. Just praise his name and tell him that he's worthy, y'all, because he is so good and he does great things within your life when you completely surrender your life to him. So that's all I want to say, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, and until next time, bye.
This is so nice. I'm so excited about it. Yeah, this is so cute. I love it.
It's fire.
Oh man, I love this.
Oh, this is
so cute. How do you feel?
like a grown woman.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me tell you about my Lord and Savior.